Hey everyone, Edward West Summers, and I had mentioned the other day that I was going to be posting the video about the 4chan DC Comics or DC Rebirth rumors. I've been busy with stuff and just doing other things and chilling out the past couple days, so I figured now I'll go on ahead and do the video. So obviously these rumors were posted on 4chan and Bleeding Cool posted the thing, and I don't really follow Bleeding Cool, but this was rumors that were posted. So, alright, and the article was uploaded on July 11th, and the original leak, whatever, came out July 9th. So, I'm going to start this off. This is by Anonymous, and I heard a lot of people, I think everybody goes by Anonymous on 4chan from what I've heard. So anyways, what's coming to DC in the future? So for starters, Tom King won't be changing any of his plot ideas despite the public backlash of The Wedding. Next two arcs will be about Bruce Wayne self-reflecting on if being Batman is a good thing. He'll ask to take over temporarily. The Bane cliffhanger won't be followed up on until around December, January. Me personally, I don't follow Batman. I mean, I got the first couple issues. I thought the first thing was okay, but I don't really follow it. So I mean, at least this didn't hurt me. This rumor, or not the rumor, but the wedding didn't personally hurt me because a small part of me knew, not like knew, I didn't know this was going to happen, but a small part of me figured DC wouldn't go through with it. And I ended up, unfortunately, being right. I think the only thing that hurt me was that DC lied. DC basically lied, saying that this is going to be a big event, big wedding. It's finally happening. They hyped it up, and it ended up not being true, which I figured that's kind of a garbage thing to do. You go and you get you get a good number of your older readers back. Sure, probably some of them probably dropped Rebirth by now, a few people at least. But just what the hell? You didn't have to hype up a wedding that wasn't gonna happen. But whatever. So, the next thing is that, and some of these, another thing, I'm gonna point out, some of these, at least one of these, I know due to this article, I know is not true. One of these ended up being true, and I'll get to that one in just a minute. So, some of these, I think some of these will end up being true and some won't. So, I'm just gonna take it as you see it. Next thing is Dick Bats, or Dick Grayson as Batman, won't be a thing in Justice League, but it will spill over to Ben Percy's Nightwing. It'll double ship for a few months and then go back to be monthly. DC's also going to push the Nightwing Batgirl relationship as damage control for the wedding train wreck, but don't expect anything big to come out of it. Well, I mean, they were already... there was hints before in Nightwing. I mean, I haven't read Nightwing recently. I dropped after the first run. Oh, it's been so long since I read. I forgot the guy's name. The first guy who also wrote Grayson. The guy I think he's supposed to be. He was in the CIA originally, and then he became a comic book writer. I have to look it up. I've heard interesting things about Ben Percy's Nightwing run, so I mean, I might check that out. I don't know. Tim Seeley, that's his name. I remember now. I think that was him. He's writing Green Lanterns now, I believe. I think. As for Dick and Batgirl, or Dick and Barbara, Dick and Babs, that sounded really, really weird. As for those two, I mean, they kind of hinted stuff before, so I mean, it was only a matter of time. So I mean, at least you're getting that, so that's fine. Okay, this next one was confirmed not to be true unless DC's gonna pull some low blow move and fire him. The next one, I was getting some new demos on my 3DS, so let me. What do I have left? Okay, Triforce Heroes. Alright. Give me just a second. Just a second. Just type Zelda, that'll be easy. Typing and get back to this then. So, there we go. Okay. The next one is the solo, and y'all probably read it by now or paused the video. The solo Red Hood direction will just be for an arc. Scott Lobdell originally wanted to use Roy Harper's death as the catalyst for this angle, but editor stepped in so he could be used for Heroes in Crisis. Joker's daughter will be taking Roy's place on the chopping block. Lobdell will be gone after this arc, by the way, to focus on more screenwriting. Just focus more on screenwriting. Okay, so according to the article, and there's also a Twitter post by by Lobdell himself. I don't know about if the arcs, if any of the rest of this leak is true, but according to Lobdell, as far as he knows, he hasn't been fired. He's not stepping down. He is still writing Red Hood and Outlaws. Everything else might end up being true, but Lobdell is staying. So that part of the rumor was wrong. Next up, Peter Tomasi will be on Detective Comics, but not until after issue 1000. His pitch is a globe-trotting Batman fighting the League of Assassins worldwide. Okay, well, I've been getting Detective Comics, I think, since that arc with, I think, A Lonely Place of Living, that's what it was. I've been getting that. I did get an issue or two when the run started, and the issue 950 anniversary issue, which I might even check out, but, which I might read, because I had been previously just keeping it as a collector thing. But I've been reading that. If Tomasi can keep Detective Comics, if it can still focus on the Bat family, I'm fine with it, because I always figured that, at least with this current Rebirth run, that Batman would be the solo Batman book, and Detective Comics would be, it would focus on the other Batman characters. And that was the reason why I've been picking up Detective Comics, is because Batman is in it, but it's more of a side role, and it focuses on the other characters. So I'm hoping that that they can keep. I don't know about what'll be happening with Tim Drake and Spoiler now, but I'm at least hoping they keep Orphan, or that they keep Cassandra Cain. I wasn't a huge fan. I didn't know a lot about her before, but she's really cool, and she's really cool in the run. So I'm hoping they can keep her. Maybe by issue 1000 they can rework the group, and it could be like Batman, Damian Wayne Robin, or Tim Drake Red Robin. He might be back by issue 1000, who knows. Orphan, and either Spoiler or Batwoman, I don't know. That's like, for like a tight-knit group, that's what I think it should be, like, if they're gonna do that. Because everybody else, like, because they said Batwing's taking a break, and Azrael, he's on Justice League Odyssey now. So yeah, anyways, but as for Tomasi, I think he'll be great. I heard he had a great Superman. I think, yeah, he wrote Superman, Jurgens wrote Action Comics. Great Superman run that ended up having to end because DC has obvious flaws that they don't intend on fixing. But if he's on Detective Comics, and a lot of people, I'm gonna say this, if this rumor's true, I hope anybody that was reading Superman that dropped Superman because of Bendis and DDO's crap, if you want to boycott DC Comics, fine, but I'm saying there's the possibility that if enough people buy Detective Comics, and very few people buy Superman. Maybe DC, the higher-ups, will notice DDO's crap and get Tomasi back on Superman. And we can forget Bendis' run ever happened. It's a dream. It's a dream. So, who knows? Next thing, speaking of Heroes in Crisis, let me check this real quick. There's the demo. Okay. Re-download screen. Let me get that real quick, and then I'll get back to this. Oh, we're already 10 minutes already. I just started. Okay. Download now. Okay, speaking of Heroes in Crisis, it's in a messy state. Tom King originally wanted to do just a 6-issue miniseries about PTSD, but DDO, of course, wanted to be more like Identity Crisis 2.0. The 3 suspects are Booster Gold, Harley Quinn, and Wally West, since they're the only survivors. The 2 victims are Ray Palmer and Kyle Rayner. Rayner doesn't die until late in the event, though. The killer is Hunter Zolomon disguised as Wally. I should have put spoiler alert, but this could end up not being the case. So I guess I'll put it in the title that there's potential spoilers for stuff to come. Watch at your own risk. If the killer is Hunter as Zolomon, that's fine. Even though they really should I think it's very odd that Hunter, because I've been reading Flash. I had been reading Flash. I'm dropping it now until Impulse shows up, because I don't read just Barry. I made a statement that I would only read the Flash issues if Wally was in them, and Wally's out of Flash for the time being, so I'm like, nah. I'll wait till Impulse shows up, though. And if he shows back up, I guess I'll pick it up again. I don't know. Anyways, but speaking of Flash, where I found it weird that it's we're going to reintroduce Hunter Zolomon, and then potentially, because he's been acting crazy, I'm the best Flash, blah, 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 it seems that's a possibility that DC might pull a gotcha bitch and be like, the Flash that they're now saying, because they're saying Flash is going to die in Heroes in Crisis, they might pull a gotcha bitch and make it Hunter. And I personally, because I know they're not going to kill Barry. Jay hasn't been brought back in, so he's still in the Speed Force. He's safe. Impulse, they literally just brought back, and he's not even a Flash right now. He's just Impulse. So I think obviously Jay and Bart are safe. Barry's only safe literally because DC higher-ups, they want to push this character, even though nobody likes him, or I don't know, he's unfortunately gained an audience now because of the damn CW show that's crap now. But I think they're going to pull a gotcha bitch and make it Hunter, which I personally hope is the case, because honestly I would rather it be Barry, but honestly Hunter's the only other option. I personally would be fine with it if it's Hunter, not Wally, if it's Hunter. But I feel like that's kind of a waste. They just brought him back in Flash War, and they're gonna waste him in Heroes in Crisis. But I don't know. As for Ray Palmer and Kyle Rayner, it kind of makes sense, because DC, they literally don't know what to do with Kyle's character, or Kyle Rayner's character. They ever since the whole thing with Hal Jordan, it's ever since they brought him back, and I don't mind Hal Jordan. I like what I've heard about and what I've seen of Hal Jordan and stuff. Even though I think Jon Stewart's a better. I'm more of a Jon Stewart fan, but I like Hal Jordan. He's fine too. But ever since he came back, ever since they brought him back, it's they don't know what to do with Kyle anymore. He gets pushed aside. He's they make him a White Lantern again. They make him a Green Lantern again. They obviously don't know what to do. But I figured they would have treated Ray Palmer better, because I figured because they were doing all that stuff with Justice League of America, and that he was in the Microverse, and whatnot. And I feel like that's kind of like, I mean, people were fine. People were fine with Ryan Choi when they introduced him back in like 2006, I believe, and they were fine with him, bringing him back here. So I mean, it's fine in a sense, but I mean, why are you killing off Ray Palmer? I mean, I don't even know if DC's even going to do the Atom ongoing, or the Atoms have two, but I have both Ray Palmer and Ryan Choi, but I just don't know. And they haven't really done much with Ryan ever since, as far as I know, they haven't done much with him after JLA got canceled. So I don't know what's going on. Alright, the best piece of news, and I hope this is true, and I need to look up who this guy is and what other stuff he's written. It says, after the fallout from Flash War and Heroes in Crisis, Wally will get a miniseries written by John Walker. Anybody in the comments, anybody who watches this, I know there's a few people who watch this, find out. I might look it up myself, but I mean, if you can tell me who he is and what he's written, and if he's a good writer, let me know. Written by John Walker, about him getting his life together and back with Linda, and I hope this is the case. I hope this is the case, because this might be their way of making up for 2 years of nothing. 2 years of nothing, with doing nothing with Wally. And I hope this is true. Hopefully this can lead to a ongoing. I understand waiting like a few months or maybe a year. Give Wally his damn ongoing, please. I would get that. It's like they're trying to, it's what I really hate. They keep doing all this shit so they can scare, like they're trying to get the Wally West, or the Redhead Wally West fans so mad that once Wally eventually does get his ongoing, nobody's going to read it. So then they'll deliberately cancel. They're deliberately, they will go and give the fans what they want. It's like they want the book to be dead on arrival. And it's so mad. It just makes me so mad. I just hate that. And I just can't take that. Anyways, next thing, potential spoiler, whatever. Huge Justice League crossover happening in January between Justice League Dark, and maybe Odyssey. See below. Superboy Prime is unleashed from the Source Wall. Yeah, you heard me. Green Lantern Corps might have a tie-in too. So about this, fine. I'm not reading Justice League. I'm just gonna pick up Justice League Dark. I need to see if that's any good. I hope it is. If not, then I'll just get the New 52 run. Haters be damned. Like, I don't even care. I want to read Justice League Dark. I even saw the anime movie and I thought that was pretty good. But I'm like, fine, okay, whatever. Fine by me. Justice League Odyssey is dead on arrival, by the way. Editorial demanded some changes in the script after Sajik had already drawn 2 issues. Sajit's pissed about it. Sajit's whatever is pissed about it, and is only going to do 4 issues instead of 12. Then he'll write and draw his Black Label book. I didn't mind the idea of Justice League Odyssey. I was fine with it. I wasn't picking it up. But I appreciated that Cyborg was finally on a team with another Teen Titan. Starfire. Maybe something will come out of this, finally. Maybe he'll finally be on a Titans team again. I think they hinted at something in Metal, in Dark Knight's Metal or whatever. So, okay. Editorials letting Adam Glass a lot of leeway with Teen Titans. He pitched it to them as Teenage Suicide Squad, and they're letting him run with it. Expect new characters to join and others to be killed off. The higher-ups are really happy with this direction so far. Alright, 19 minutes. Oh, shit. That's gonna be a lot of stuff. I'm gonna have to hurry because it's already at 19% now on my tablet. Honestly, I dropped Teen Titans. Not necessarily. I mean, honestly, the past few issues, I was losing interest, which is sad because that was one of the titles I was hoping was going to be really good. And given the fact that the issues I read, it had potential. It had potential. But the fact that DC forced a lot of crossovers and tie-ins and stuff for Teen Titans, it didn't give the solo book much of a identity of itself. Because you had Lazarus Contract, you had Super Sons of Tomorrow, you had the Dark Knight's Metal tie-in. I think that was it. I'm not sure, but it didn't give enough of a flow. It didn't give it enough of a self identity of what this comic was going to be. And honestly, I don't mind the idea of a teenage Suicide Squad. Even though that's not really what the Titans are. I don't mind the new idea. I do find it slightly fishy that the guy writing it has solely done New 52 Suicide Squad, which was mixed from what I heard. Some people liked the T9's issue, some people didn't. I personally wasn't getting it anymore. Because I mean, I don't mind Lobo's daughter, but then again, I think she's a brand new character, so I don't really have a reason to be a fan of the character. And I'm not a huge fan of Lobo's fine with me, but he's not like a favorite. And I don't mind the new characters that are diverse. I think they'll be great. Honestly, I don't think they'll last if this is true and they're really gonna kill a character off each arc. Like with New 52 Suicide Squad. Or not New 52, but I've heard like Suicide Squad, New 52 Suicide Squad or New 52 or Rebirth Suicide Squad that they've had, like, they kill off a Suicide Squad character each arc, except for like Harley, Deadshot, and Boomerang, Captain Boomerang. But I think the new characters will be great. I think they'll be good characters. They're not pushing, to me, with this book, they're not pushing any SJW crap. We'll get to that in another video. Unless I think I already talked about that with the other stuff. I don't know. So, whatever, really. Next thing, Titans, on the other hand, the top, and Tev, you'll love, I hope you're watching all this. You'll love this. Titans, on the other hand, the top brass isn't happy with. Abnett has about 8 issues of scripts done, and DC's going to double ship them just to get them out of the way before canceling or revamping the town. I hope they revamp it. They need to get that writer out of there. That comic got, after like Made in Manhattan, it started to get dull. I still read it, and the dialogue was fine between the characters. I don't know if it's necessarily the writer's fault, or if it's the fact that, because originally Titans was going to be the comic, this was the comic that was going to go into the Rebirth mystery. It was going to go into the Rebirth mystery. Except for the fact that after the first arc, the characters mentioned in the first arc, The Return of Wally West, that they were going to go into this big mystery. And it ended up not being the case. And I'm pretty sure the DC higher-ups, or DDO, or Jeff Johns, or whoever, that they kept that from happening. That's probably what ruined. I'll say this: the comic, I think, is better than what I've seen, like dialogue-wise and whatnot, from the 2008 Titans comic, but still, and that's Titans is another comic I dropped. I've lost interest. I don't care anymore. Even if they're like, it looks like, they're doing this new story, I couldn't get into the issue I read. And another thing is that, and it's a shame, because Titans, I think, was one of the last comics that I've been getting since the start of Rebirth, or right around at the start of Rebirth. That was one of the last ones, along with Teen Titans. And there isn't really much left that I've been getting since the start, because New Superman ended. I dropped Nightwing for now. I dropped Harley Quinn. I dropped Green Arrow. I dropped Batman Beyond, but I heard Batman Beyond is still good, so maybe I'll rate it again. I don't know. But anyways, so they're letting writers make pitches. The general feeling is that they want to move Nightwing out of the group and replace him with Red Robin. So, if that's true, then Timmy Boy will be coming back. Tim Drake will be coming back. And they'll have a group focused on him. So he'll finally not be sidelined. But I don't know. Anyway, so next. How are we doing on time? 25 minutes. I need to stop talking BS and just get into this. But I'm saying my thoughts. I can't help it. I have thoughts about some of this. It's not my fault. Okay. Next, Brian Edward Hill will be writing an Outsiders title with Black Lightning, Katana, Geoforce, Halo. Nightwing will replace Batman on the team as the team supervisor, and to tie in, be synergy with what they're doing on the new season of Young Justice. Simon Baz will be on the team. A crossover between this and Percy's Nightwing is planned. Alright, so I'm interested, if this is true, if this book is true, I'm interested in it. And if it's true, it probably won't be out till 2019 maybe, or late this year. If it's true, that might be something I might pick up, because I think I haven't really read much of any run of the Outsiders or whatever, but I might pick up this one because they really seem really interesting. So that would be cool, and I like Katana, so that's pretty cool. And I thought Black Lightning, from what I've seen on his show, he's pretty cool too. Not really my favorite, but he's all right. And Geoforce, they're gonna have on Young Justice Outsiders, so that'd be even cooler. They'll have the whole team on Young Justice Outsiders. And Simon Baz, that's good that they'll have him on another book. All right, so this next one is confirmed to be real. I don't know if it's a 12-issue run. Grant Morrison Green Lantern is real, by the way, and it's a 12-issue run about Hal Jordan exploring the multiverse and learn about how Lantern willpower works in other worlds. San Diego Comic-Con announcement, which was confirmed. Green Lanterns will be retitled, and this stuff I don't know if it's true. Green Lanterns will be retitled as Green Lantern Corps. It'll keep the numbering. And will follow the other Lanterns, John, Guy, Kilowog, etc., with Dan Jurgens writing. Don't know if this is true, but in the recent solicitations, it said that issue 57, I believe, of Green Lanterns was going to be the final issue, as it said. So I don't know if they're going to do, because that's the thing with New Superman, when they did that thing, when they changed the name, or they did that last issue because they made it seem like it was the final story, they changed the name and kept the number, but on that other issue, issue, I think 18, I believe, it didn't say final issue on the solicitation. So, I think they would want to do another Green Lanterns book, but I don't think they're gonna keep the numbering. It might be new number 1, because I don't think that's gonna be the case. And this one ended up being true. That's what KSD meant. Kelly Sue DeConrick. Kelly Sue DeConrick takes, and this is one of the things that ties into my thing, what I was saying about the SJW crap reaching DC. Kelly Sue DeConrick takes over Aquaman after the Suicide Squad crossover, which actually she's not joining until, from what I heard, she's not joining until January, I believe, or December. And she'll be writing about Mara, Queen of Atlantis. Aquaman will stay as an underwater Robin Hood, and there will be a Romeo and Juliet doomed romance. Okay, so this is this thing is, like, this leak is right and it's wrong, because it's right in the fact that, yes, she will be writing Aquaman, but it's not after the Suicide Squad crossover, because that won't be, from what people were saying, I think she won't be joining until January, I believe. So, Aquaman fans, I think Abnett was writing on that. Aquaman fans, you have nothing to worry about. You still have until until January. I read the first 2 or 3 issues of Aquaman. It was pretty good. I dropped it because more stuff that I was really wanting to read came out. But yeah. And we're almost done, thank goodness. I was afraid this video was going to be like an hour long. We're already reaching 30 minutes. Okay. Brian Azzarello is taking Suicide Squad back to its roots, kind of. Harley, Deadshot, and Boomerang are still on the team, but the rest will be expendable villains like Cheshire, Clock King, Raptor. With a mix of old and new, DC might publish this under Black Label. Okay, fine. I'm not really reading Suicide Squad, but okay. The last thing. New Age of Heroes has been disappointing sales-wise. The Unexpected is done after 6 issues. Immortal Men and Damage are ending at 12. The Terrifics is doing well enough to last. They might keep that like as an ongoing, or make that just a regular, or they might just keep that as like a DC Rebirth title. I figured that one would do well because that one had characters from like they had older DC characters and they weren't really new like some of the others. It's a shame that I figured the New Age of Heroes wouldn't last. I figured it wouldn't last because I was like, okay, they'll make this, they'll have it go for maybe a year, and then it's done after that. It's a shame, but it's going down the same route as New Superman. Honestly, it's almost a shame. I like Clark Kent, I like Superman, but it's a real shame that Kennan's book, or Kenan, whatever, New Superman, or New Superman in the Justice League of China, got canceled, and it makes me wonder, like, if they had, and I don't want them to go down the Marvel route where they're replacing characters with diversity characters. It makes me wonder if the book would have done well or would have been longer if they had made Kenan or Kenan, whatever, not the new Superman of China, but just the new Superman that, like, they had, like, it would have been for the time being or something. It's really hard to say. I didn't want his book getting canceled because I read that since the beginning. I still haven't read those last 3 issues because I don't want it to end. Thankfully, Jeff Johns teased something in one of the Doomsday Clock issues that Kenan's group of, like, the new Justice League of China, or I think they're calling the group the Great 20 now, or the Great something, I don't know. But I heard that they're still going with that, or that, not that they're still going, but they teased him in one of the issues that his team is still active. So maybe they might relaunch it. Maybe that'll be something after Doomsday Clock wraps. I hope so. Anyway, so what I was saying, Trex is doing well enough to last. Sideways and Silencer might get a few more issues because DDO likes him. Of course he does. Well, honestly, I could probably see them wrapping it up by like issue 16 or issue 18, where they get like 3 arcs or 3 volumes. Kind of like what Marvel's been doing with some of their books. Some of their books get, at maximum, they get 16 issues and then they're canceled. They could be a good issue, they could be a good story, an interesting character, and you get 16 issues and that's it. So you get 3 volumes.